Guys, welcome back to the PK Pod. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to be a good friend. And this is a two-part series, so make sure you guys stay tuned for next week's episode. So, let's get started. I just started doing a dance. First, our fun question of the week is, what was your least favorite food when you were a child?
That's a hard one.
Many moons ago.
We were raised, I don't know about you guys, but we were raised, like, to eat what was on our plate. Like, you know, you just eat it. Mm-hmm. So we liked a lot of veggies and stuff like that.
Yeah, but also...
I don't know. There was a lot of foods that, like, I didn't care for, but, like, I would still eat them.
Yeah.
Probably olives. Also, I used to not like Swiss cheese. I do like Swiss cheese now, though.
You didn't like canned soup either. Which, okay, I used to always blame you for that, but then I, like, lived a little, and I don't like it anymore. Like, I don't like it.
I have to add a bunch of spices or something.
No, but, like, when you think about it.
It's a little, what's yours?
So, ever since I was a little tot, I've always despised, and I mean despise, like, hate, the capital H. Ugh. I hate green peppers. And there was this one dish that my mom used to make. Love you, Mom, but no, it was basically like you take a whole green pepper and fry it and put like a rice in it.
Peppers?
Bombastic side that.
No, the filling was really good. I see where you're coming from, though.
I don't. So, no, green peppers, fried green peppers. I like them raw. Raw, I will eat. Fried green peppers are my least favorite food. Other than that,
I mean, you liked a lot of foods as when you were a kid.
No, there was one I was just thinking of.
Can't help you there, sister.
Okay, well, that was my least favorite food as a child.
Yeah. And if you guys want to answer this question, drop it in the comments below. We would love to hear your answer.
Oh, before we get started with the episode, we're going to open our drinks for the day. I have sparkling ice for once. It's not Boobler.
I have Olipop, which I have never tried this flavor before. I've only tried it like once in my life, so.
Oh, there we go. Why was that so anticlimactic?
Like, I wanted to make like.
We wanted it to go overflow so it could be on camera. Tell us your feelings.
It's okay.
Okay. Mine is just my favorite sparkler, and I know how these sparkler. The freak sparkler.
Okay.
That's our new name for this. Sparkler. No, I actually really like that. Sparkler. No, my sparkling ice flavor is pink grapefruit, and I love it, and I've had it ever since I was a little baby, and it's always my favorite, so.
Since you were a baby?
Not lying.
You tried it for the first time like 3 years ago.
Alright guys, we're gonna get started. So, in this day and age, friendship is a huge part of many people's lives, including ours, including yours, I'm sure. However, it can also be very misunderstood and taken for granted.
Yeah.
So, first, we're gonna talk about what is friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You're like, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so friendship is a relationship, duh. But a lot of times I feel like we don't treat it that way. Like we kind of treat it like, oh, we're just chilling, we're hanging out. Like, oh, that's my friend, you know.
My homie.
Like, what? Sorry. I don't know that I've ever. I don't know. Your chum.
Our chums.
Bring back that
Bring
word.
Back chums. They're not friends. Our whole episode we're just gonna call them chum. No.
Chum.
How to be a good chum.
But it is a relationship. Like, it just like any other relationship, you need to put work into it.
Mm-hmm.
You need to put things into it, as we will talk about. Like, you want to be a good friend.
Invest in it, yeah.
Like, this is an important thing. It's not just like, oh, they're my friend. You know, this is something that it's supposed to last. Like, it is a relationship that you actually want to be their friend and keep being their friend, and like, it's not just like, oh,
and honestly,
one day they're your friend,
yeah.
the next day they're not, you know?
And honestly, I'm a huge believer too, like, the more you invest in it almost, the longer it'll last, if that makes sense. Because if you're not putting anything into it, I hate to burst your little bubble, but that friendship probably ain't gonna last long.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be the one to say it, but also I'm the one who's gonna say it. If you're not putting anything into your friendship, girl, who are we kidding? It's not gonna last long, hon.
Yeah.
Babe, like, excuse me? No, it's not gonna last long. So, and okay, quick point here. Having a few good friends is better than having a lot of just, like, friends.
Yeah.
So, for example, like, if you have, like, 2 really good friends, like, hey, you could call them up at any time and be like, girl, I'm struggling, I need some help. Or, like, bro, I need, you know, like, if you're a bro dude.
Shout out to all the bro dudes watching.
Okay, bro dudes.
You said it.
Yeah, no, so, but anyway, having a few really good friends, I think, is better than having a ton of friends.
That's for
Because,
sure.
like, if you have a lot of good friends, if you have a lot of, like, friends who aren't super good or whatever, then, like, you're not going to always necessarily be able to rely on them or have godly conversations with. Since,
Yeah. Quality over quantity is what we call that.
I like. I like. It's good.
So, what are some good ways that we can be a good friend?
I think first we need to be intentional. So, like, not bring back, because I don't know if this is everything, but no, we need to be, like, even if you're like, hey, bestie, like, or hey, like, be intentional, like, it's okay to, like, tell your friend of how great they are. You know what I mean?
I love
like,
you. Like,
yeah, like, I love you.
you're
Like, let's express ourselves. Like,
Yeah, for real.
it's okay to tell them, like, how much we love and appreciate them. And even if we're not, like, not good friends or whatever, like,
Just be like, hey, I care about you.
exactly, let them know. Like, be intentional about it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think that we can think that friends are just gonna drop in our laps. Like, they'll just poof out of nowhere. Like
Like, you can stay at home all day and then somebody will knock on your door and be like, will you be my
will
friend?
you be my bestie?
Not how it works.
No,
Sorry.
unfortunately. So, well, they all know that. But especially today, we have to seek out good friends. I don't have my glasses on, but, you know, we have to go find good
There
friends.
aren't a lot of them out there anymore.
So, like, go to that Christian party, go to that Christian Bible study, go to church.
Which you already should be doing.
That was really judgmental. I'm not gonna lie. No. But, like, go to godly places and events. That's the word. Events. Go to godly places and events. And that will help. Like, if you're wondering, hold the phone. Are we recording?
Bruh.
Oh, thank Buddha. That worried me.
My heart
throbbed for a second. I was like, okay. But no. Go to the event. Like, this is your sign. Go to that place that you're worrying about and, like, I don't know.
Like,
Never
you're
know.
like, I'm
Maybe
not
you'll
sure
meet
if I
your
should
bestie.
go. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, like,
You
I don't
never know.
want to...
Like, don't sit at home and complain that you don't have good friends when you're not going to establishments and finding those friends.
Yes. Very much.
Nailed it.
And also, look for people who need friends. Like,
I
don't
like
just
this.
always be like,
Yes.
I need friends. I wish somebody would come up to me and befriend me. Look for the people who
Look
need
for them.
friends. Because those often are going to be your best friends in the end.
Yeah.
And I think as pastors' kids, this is something that we definitely need to learn, is that...
It's something we're still learning, too.
Yeah, for
We're
sure.
actively working at it.
Especially because we, our dad became a pastor of a smaller church.
Right.
And so there weren't a lot of people there. And so you don't have, like, a youth group, or you don't have, like, a friend group
We
all
did,
waiting
now we
for
do.
you.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
we didn't have, like, a friend group just, like, there made for us already. We had to
make it.
kind of create the friend group. And it took us a little while to learn
I'm sure a
that.
lot of you can
Like,
relate that, too. Like,
oh,
this is
why
not too
why do I not have friends? But then it was like, oh,
We have to do this ourselves.
there's kids out there that need friends, and we found those people, and we have great friendships now.
We have
because
amazing
of that.
friendships.
Yeah,
like, if any of you guys are watching,
love you.
also, I told my friend Alexa that I would shout her out. So consider this your shout out, Alexa. Thanks for being there for me. I love you, girl.
Love you.
Love you.
Even though I only met you once.
No. What'd you say?
I said even though I only met you once.
Oh, what? Okay.
Well,
cool.
technically you did too.
Yeah. But no, I told her to give her a shout out, so here you are. But anyway, no, thanks to all of our friends for sticking there.
Oh, for real, yeah.
Because we are hard to
If
stick.
you're watching right now, you're a real one.
What? Aren't they all real?
No, some
but
of
no.
you are fake.
Back to our point. So, see how, like, we can benefit them. And, like, that's a big point, actually. See how, like, we can help our friends. Instead of just
real.
always seeing what you can suck out of your friends, seeing how you can help them.
Yeah.
And maybe even if you're having a bad day, and you're like, why aren't my friends texting me? Like, why don't they care about me? Sometimes, like, just text them. Ask how they're doing.
Literally.
And then you'll get a conversation started. Like, it doesn't always... Don't always, like...
See what you can get
See
out
what
of
you
it.
can get out of it. Because that's also kind of self...
Yeah.
selfishly minded.
Yeah, like God created us for friendship, or one way is to help each other. And
Exactly.
so we should seek to be fulfilling, not helping people.
Yeah, another thing too is having patience, because sadly, a lot of people haven't have good friends. And maybe, you know, they're like, they have like side effects from not having good friends. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, and maybe they've
Like,
never
they
had
don't
true friends.
know
They don't
how
know
to
how
be
to
a good
act.
friend.
Yeah.
They
So
have never been shown that.
Yeah, they might not know how to be a good friend at first. But I mean, that's where we can teach them. That's where God can step in and teach too.
Yeah.
We can help them. I mean, because we're all learning. We are all
Yeah.
in this together.
Literally. Like, and a lot
Girl.
of our friends have taught us how to be better friends
Oh,
as well.
absolutely.
So
yeah.
it's like, it's deeper than just like, oh, we're gonna go hang out. It's like a relationship where you're both contributing to it and you're learning things from each other.
Yeah, and like the verse Proverbs 17:17 says, "A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity."
I really like that verse.
I do too.
Because like it's
We should get it like painted on the wall.
it doesn't just talk about like the good times where you're just having a good time. It talks about like the deep and serious things and when you go through hard things with your friend. But first, before we get into like more serious, we're going to talk about another good way to be a good friend is just being goofy. Good friends
I love this
are
point. I could not love this point more. I love this point because
Yes.
just in general, I'm like a stupid, silly person. So
stupid. I won't say stupid. Goofy, yeah.
girl,
But good friends are people that you can have
have a lot of
genuine fun with.
Like go out. You,
Like,
only
you
live
don't
once.
just need
like,
to be like, oh, so dear
how are you
sister."
today, my dear friend? Are you doing well? She has bony fingers. I took it and I could feel like a skeleton, and his goes. I shake
Well,
it.
my
It's like,
apologies for my hand.
no, they're
being
pretty.
like
Don't
that.
worry. I'm just saying like.
How would you know? Looking at my hand.
And okay, you can enjoy their company even if you're just running errands or like sitting on their couch. And this is something I want to touch on quick.
Yeah.
So something that we do on like Wednesdays or something, sometimes we'll have to go get groceries or like we want to go get a snack or like ice cream or something. And we'll be like, hey, you want to come along with us? And our friends will come from youth group or whatever. And we end up having a blast. Like
Literally.
sometimes the
You don't have to
most
spend a lot of
fun,
money.
exactly. Sometimes the most fun that we have is like when they weren't planned. Like it was just kind of on a whim. type of thing. Impromptu.
Yes.
Those are the best. To be like TBH, those are the best. Like girl, those are the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some people think that having like wholesome fun is boring, but you can you can have fun without getting in trouble. Okay, who are we kidding? You can have fun without getting in trouble, and all while honoring God too.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to
Like,
be
you
out
can
drinking.
always keep that in your mind, and you can still have fun and laugh and like joke around and stuff. Like you don't have to be all like prim and proper. Now, of course, like if you're in church or something, like you shouldn't be like whispering and giggling with your friends like, during the service. But you know what I mean? Like there's times to be serious, but there's also times to laugh and have fun. Like God made us for that.
Yeah, and something that too I want to touch on too. I said that wrong. Something that I want to touch on too.
We know what you mean.
Okay.
Keep
Good
going.
friends are also people you could be yourself around. So
Yes.
if you're around your friends, and I understand if you're a little like awkward at first, like that's normal. But if you're around your friends and you're like you're always in a fear that you have to present for them, or if you having to be somebody like super like great or whatever, like you're being really fake around them, maybe number one, you're not around the best friends, or number two, I don't think you're looking at it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you know what I mean?
that's
Like it
true.
should be someone where you can be yourself around.
Yeah, exactly. Don't try to impress people or like be so stressed and worried. I mean, okay, you should care what people think in the sense that you should love them and
Exactly.
be concerned and want to help them,
Yeah.
as we just touched on. But don't like let that change who God made you to be. Like just be who God made you to be. And ow. Just kidding, that didn't hurt like at all.
There's hair on it now.
Well, my bad. I wasn't the one who dropped it.
It was Sadie. Yeah. Sadie's my dog. She gets hair over my bed and the floor and everywhere else.
Yes.
Keep going, my dear.
What was I saying? Oh, yeah, don't let them change you from who God made you to be. Just,
No.
like, be yourself. Like, not be yourself like, in a
we
way
want
of,
to be like
like,
generic, like Disney, like just be
Let
you.
yourself be yourself,
But also
no.
at the same time, like through Jesus and how
Yeah.
He's growing you to be, like
Be who
your
God made
personality.
you
Yeah,
to
be who God made you to be.
yeah. And the people who aren't your true friends will
Criticize that.
automatically fall away, criticize it, just not like you for who you are.
Yeah.
And the people who are meant to be your friends and who are good friends
Mm-hmm.
will love you
No matter what.
no matter what, and will love those things about you. Like, that's one thing I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like, different friends will apologize for, like, the quirks they have, and I'm like, girl,
I love that about
that's,
you.
like, my
That's
favorite thing about you. Like, literally.
Mm-hmm. We're like, girls, I really want...
You're
No.
gorgeous, you know.
No. Like, they'll be like, sorry, I do this. I'm like, don't apologize, hon.
That's just you being you. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like everybody has been conditioned to, like,
being one like,
way.
Yes.
Like, everybody
like,
has to
there's
be
a
the
stereotype.
same,
Like,
like, type of friend. Like, no,
be
it's
different.
fine. Just have fun.
Why does this low-key feel like a Disney Channel? Be different. Be you.
Follow your heart. No, don't.
The heart is deceitfully wicked above all things.
No, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. So don't follow your
It
heart.
sounds like an Anna Green Gables quote. Also, comment down below if you guys are Anna Green Gables fans.
We love
that movie. Like, it's such a good movie. It's such a vibe. But I was just curious if we had any kindred spirits among our fans.
Bosom friends.
Bosom.
If you haven't seen the movie,
oh, watch it first before you judge us.
Please don't. It's not a weird cult. We promise.
Is it though? No.
It might be.
It just might be.
Just a little bit.
Also, okay, so I'm gonna enter a little Bible verse, and this time we're not gonna have editor Sarah do it because editor Sarah is so freaking tired of looking at Bible verses that she doesn't know where they are.
Can put the text in though.
Editor Sarah could do that. I could say, I could just enter it. So editor Sarah. Editor Sarah, put the text here, please and thank you. You can also, editor Sarah, you can also edit up this part if you so desire. No, there's a Bible verse in the Bible. It says Proverbs 29, Proverbs 27:9 says ointment. Why is that such a fun word to say? Ointment is my favorite word. Ointment. It's like oink, but men together, like ointment.
That has nothing to do with the actual word.
It says ointment and perfume rejoice the heart, so doth the sweetness of a man's friend by a haughty counsel.
I love that verse.
I could see like an old British dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so basically that verse is talking about like these things rejoice the heart. They make you happy and glad and, you know, smile and laugh. But so does friendship. And it says hearty counsel. So does like having deep conversations, which is what we're going to touch on next.
Yeah.
Is that those things will make you joyful and happy.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna quickly touch on how to be like serious in a friend because we just got done talking about how I think that it was important that we talked about being goofy first because I think that's sometimes like in Christian circles like looked down on almost.
Yeah,
like oh, you're being too goofy type of thing. As long as it's done in the right way, of course.
At the right time.
Right time, right choice. Yeah. Okay, but anyway, we're gonna talk quick about how to be like serious and like how to treat your friendship seriously. And so first, good friends are also people that you can have like a serious conversation with.
Yeah.
Like you can talk about deep things. That's something that me as a person, I personally like doing is talking about deep things. Like
her do it
all the time.
Like that's why we stay up late is because
we're just talking about deep things.
And we live together. We never run out of things to talk about.
Ever. So like, I don't know, just talking like with your friends about like deep things, it can honestly really bring you closer together.
Yeah. And it can be like a little hard and awkward at first.
But just go for it.
But often a lot of people are kind of craving that human connection of being able to talk about those things. And so a lot of times people will start responding well to that. And they're like, oh, this is like another level of friendship that I
don't have with all other people.
Yeah. So, and also you should be able to come to them if you have a problem with them, and they should be able to come to you. Like, don't shy away from that.
That's a big
that thing point. That's very hard to do sometimes, but that is very crucial. And I think we're going to touch on this in the next episode, in part 2. But you need to be able to have those hard conversations with them.
Yeah.
Not just deep conversations, but hard conversations.
Or like if they're like doing something wrong, like sinning, I guess I would say, whether it's against you or something else, like it is kind of our duty, like especially if we're really good friends with them, to come to them and say something.
Right. Yeah. Well.
And I mean, obviously it needs to be done in a loving, caring way. Like we need to be saying it right. But I think that that's a good sign that you and your friend are doing well if you're able to come to them.
A lot of friendships, and I think this is another thing that we're gonna touch on next time. But a lot of friendships, I feel like, are like people will talk a lot about the bad things their friends do, or like the things they don't like about their friends behind their back, but they won't go to the person.
Say it to them.
Like they're always
that's something that I've done too.
This annoys me, or like this person's doing this wrong, and like they spend so much time thinking and talking about it, but they never bring it to the person. If it's that important that it's like overtaking your mind and like you're thinking about it so often, that's probably your sign that you need to go to that person and address it. Otherwise, just let it go. Like, you know.
Let it go.
And Proverbs 27:6 says, "Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful." So if you're now compliment your friends, you know, say good things about them, say you
that's
love
your
them.
job, girl. That is your job.
But if you are constantly like buttering them up and like puffing them up and like flattering
that's a huge thing.
Like just really empty things, like, "Girl, you're so pretty," and then you just like in your head you're like, "You're literally so ugly today." You know, like, don't do that. Like,
that's vile.
I mean, I feel like that shouldn't have to be said, but like sometimes there are times where you're gonna have to come seriously to your friend about something that, you know, they might have done wrong or that offended you. Now, don't do it like all the time. Like, "That offended me." Like, don't be like that. But
don't
there
be
are
like
times.
that. Gracious calling out people. Don't be like that.
Don't be like that. But sometimes there are times where you do need to come to them, and don't just always be goofy and don't just always be surface level. Like, you might be able to come away from like hanging out with your friends and be all lighthearted and like, "Oh, I had such a great time. Like, we did this, we did that." But after a while, it starts to feel kind of empty. You're just like,
and you have fun, but it's also
cool.
like
we just like we went to the mall, like,
fun,
big deal. Like, but nothing got done, nothing got accomplished. You didn't feel edified, like you didn't grow at all. And friendship is very important to growing in your relationship with God.
I'm gonna very politely interrupt you and just say right now that there's a lot of times where
I was giving you the floor.
Okay, cool. The floor is mine. Mike. Also, okay, I'm gonna reveal a really big secret. Something that we've never told him before.
Shocking.
Don't Jen, shocking. Okay, that will shock you. The last one will shock you.
Shockingly.
Okay. This isn't plugged in. Do not tell anyone. I swear on my life, do not tell anyone. This is not plugged in. It's a literal prop. We were gonna originally have it plugged in, but the cord was like, "Not today." So no, we use a mic on the camera. So this is just a prop.
Yeah, it's just
it adds enough aesthetic to it. If you guys want to see it, a close up. Her name is Shirley. Shirley, meet the pod. Pod, meet Shirley. And no, that was weird. No, we named her Shirley because it says Sure on the back. Like, that's the name of the microphone. So Shirley was born. Anyway, there will be times where we'll come home from doing something and we feel so refreshed. And when we look back at it, we realize it's because we had some really, maybe it wasn't even super deep, but it was just we were talking about godly things. Like, hey,
good conversation.
How was your Bible time? Like, how's your prayer life?
Like, can you pray for this?
Right.
Or
like,
how can I pray
things.
for you?
Yeah.
Things like that that are meaningful.
And sometimes even we'll get into really deep conversations. We're talking about really deep things, which I love.
Yes.
Like, if you ever want a deep conversation, call me out. I will have a deep conversation with you.
Literally.
She will too.
Yeah. You should be able to do those things with your friends.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be all the time, like every single second that you're with them. But you should be able to discuss the things of God. And like, if God is your life, because the Bible says Christ who is our life, so that God should be your life, and that's who you're hanging around with too, your friends are like that too, then that's going to be a natural thing to have conversations like that with them. So just try to find the friends that will have a meaningful friendship and have spiritual conversations and those kind of things.
Also, I'd just like to insert this. If you guys like are like lonely and watching this, which is a really sad thought, comment below. And like, let's just start, like, if anyone needs friends, like, I'm dead serious, comment below. Like, we would love to be your friend. I'm dead drop serious.
Like, literally.
I will be your friend. And I'm sure there's other people in our community, too. I know plenty of people that watch this podcast. I would love to be your friend, too.
Yes.
Like,
literally.
I don't want people to watch us feeling really depressed. Almost like, well...
And be like, well, I don't even have any friends.
That makes me really sad.
No,
I will be your best friend.
Like,
no, I'm serious. Like, I will.
Comment below, and, like, we will be your friend forever. Like,
yeah.
love you.
A lot. Hearts and kisses.
Like, so much.
We hope this episode was encouragement. Well, I wouldn't do that really smooth. I was like, we hope this episode an encouragement. We hope this episode was a blessing and an encouragement to you guys. We'll be covering more ways on how to be a good friend in part 2 of this mini-series. And we will see you guys next week. So stay tuned. I need sleep. Stay strong.
Stay faithful.
Oh, sharks. I did the wrong one. Please redo. Stay strong.
Stay faithful.
And remember who we serve. I'm going to bed. I'm kidding. Peace out. Bye.